Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com.
Studying Chumash and Tanach and becoming an expert in its content. What Jew is not aware of the greatness and holiness of the Bible, the 24 books of Scripture, Torah, Nevi'im, Ksuvim, and how we honor it and respect it and sacre it, make it part of the daily schedule of a Jew in Kriyas HaTorah, Mondays, Thursdays, and Shabbos, and hearing Haftarah. But unfortunately, we see that in the learning daily schedules of individuals, and especially in the Sidrei HaYeshivas, the Torah study subjects studied in yeshivas, not so much emphasis is placed in actually acquiring knowledge of the subjects and topics brought in the Chumash and Nevi'im and Ksuvim. There is lack of expertise in these Sfarim of the written Torah, and the question is asked, is this a correct perspective according to halacha? Is there justification for this custom of the lack of knowledge of Tanakh, the lack of study of Tanakh, or is it a mistake and should be fixed by all Torah learners? So this touches upon the question of the laws of Talmud Torah. We all know that a man, has an obligation of learning Torah, and every time you learn Torah, you fulfill your mitzvah of Talmud Torah. The question, however, is asked, what content must one learn to fulfill his mitzvah of learning Torah? So it's recorded in the Gemara in Kedushin 30a, and later recorded in the Rambam Hilchos Talmud Torah 1.7, the Torah in Yeridea 245 and 246, the Mechaber in the Shulchanaruchharav Yeridea 245.6 and 246.4, and later in the Alter Rebbe's Hilchos Talmud Torah 1.4, and in many other halachas there, that part of the mitzvah of Talmud Torah is a requirement to learn not just Chumash, but even Nevi'im and Ksuvim. Every male Jew has an obligation to study Torah, Nevi'im, and Ksuvim. And as the Alter Rebbe emphasized in Hilchos Talmud Torah, chapter 2, halacha 2, it must be studied several times, over and over again, until one is an expert in its content and has memorized, not necessarily the words, but the ideas and content that it has. And this is included in the positive command and obligation of Talmud Torah. Now, not everyone agrees with this ruling that we just brought in the name of many Poskim, Rishonim, and the Gemara. Rashi in the Gemara Kedushin is of the opinion that in fact you don't have to teach your child Nevi'im and Ksuvim, only Chumash, which would imply that the mitzvah of Talmud Torah doesn't include Nevi'im and Ksuvim prophets, but only the Chumash. Practically, as we mentioned from all the Poskim and as the Bach discusses in length, this opinion of Rashi is a lone opinion and has been pushed away from halacha. And thus, in conclusion, in halacha, it is an absolute obligation to study Torah, Nevi'im, and Ksuvim until you're an expert in it. Now, what do we do about the minhag? Isn't there a mitzvah to justify a minhag Yisrael, a custom of jury? We see the custom is not to do so. So why use halacha to trample the minhag? So this minhag didn't start today. It started many generations ago, and the Poskim discuss it. And let's hear what they have to say about this custom. The Bach, in his commentary on the Torah in chapter 246 explains, 245.5 explains, that although this is the custom, it is wrong. One should not follow this custom. The Shach, however, in his commentary on 246, in the Shulchan Aruch, explains that a minhag Yisrael Torah, a Jewish custom, is Torah. And he brings a defense for the custom to not study and become expert in Tanakh, based on the fact that we rule in Shulchan Aruch, in the Ramah, in 246.4, based on Rabbeinu Tam and other Rishonim, that the mitzvah of Talmud Torah and studying Tanakh, Mishnah, and Talmud every single day can be fulfilled simply through learning Talmud Bavli, as the Talmud Bavli contains within it psukim of Tanakh, Mishnayos from the Mishnah, and hence you can fulfill all your subjects of Torah learning through learning the Talmud. And hence, the learners and the yeshiva students don't spend time learning Tanakh, and rather just learn the Talmud. Through it, they fulfill their mitzvah of learning Tanakh. A very interesting approach and justification of the Shach, which in truth is what is practiced today amongst Torah learners and yeshiva bachrim. However, the Alter Rebbe, in his Kuntrus Achron 1:1, completely negates this approach. And he rules as follows. Everyone agrees, including the Ramah Rabbeinu Tam and all those Rishonim who said you can fulfill your third of Tanakh through learning Talmud, that this is only after you've already become an expert in Tanakh and studied it completely from beginning to end and reviewed it several times till it's been acquired to your memory. To then fulfill 1/3 of Tanakh the rest of your life, you can study Talmud. But to even initially use it to fulfill your mitzvah of knowing Tanakh is impossible, because the Tanakh does not contain, the Talmud does not contain all the verses in Tanakh, all the details of stories and occurrences that are mentioned there. And hence, concludes the Alter Rebbe, the study of Talmud does not take the place of being an expert in Tanakh. And one has a biblical obligation of Talmud Torah to learn Tanakh every single day and become an expert in it. And only after one does so can he stop learning Tanakh and go ahead and learn other subjects, such as only Talmud. Practically, we will discuss in a further halacha the exact daily schedule of how much time should be dedicated towards learning Tanakh, until how long one should follow this schedule, and other details. To conclude, as it says in Hayom Yom, on the 19th of Adar Aleph, that the custom of the Chassidim was, even the mediocre ones, to study Tanakh every day, and they were all experts in Tanakh, as is the ruling of the Alter Rebbe. So as a final summary, while the minhag today is not to place emphasis necessarily in studying Torah, Nevi'im, Ksuvim and being an expert in it, and it does have upon whom to rely in terms of poskim in the Shulchanaruch, as this is the opinion of the Shach, this is not the approach of the Alter Rebbe in his ruling, and it is not the custom of Chabad Chassidim, and rather one must become an expert in all of Tanakh and dedicate time towards a daily study, as we will explain.
Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com. Our free services of making Torah knowledge available to the public depends on donors like you. Please help us continue our work through making even a small contribution at Shulchanaruchharav.com under the Daily Halacha Dedication section or in the subscription page. Also, check out our online courses and many Sefarim available for purchase that will both enhance your Torah knowledge and help support our work.